The way to reset a Honda Civic after we replace the hybrid battery is there's two ways to do it. The main way is just to disconnect the 12-volt battery, which is up under the hood up front, and you just take off the negative connector, and we normally let them set for about 5 minutes. And once that happens, that typically erases all the codes and clears everything, so that way when the new battery's in, the car knows that all the problems are fixed and that it can start up like usual. The second option is everyone has a code reader now, and you can have a code reader hooked up to it, and you can also manually erase them. Sometimes you have to do both anyways, but either option works. It just depends on what tools you have, or if you need to use a code reader to erase it, or if you can just get them all to clear with just disconnecting the battery. One thing to remember on the Honda Civics is that when you reset them, there's a radio code that you have to put in. A lot of times that's, taped on the side of the glove box in the car. A lot of times it's in the owner's manual, and there's a code that you type in on the radio to get the radio to work. That's a key thing that you have to remember to reset or to enter when you're changing the battery. It's not necessarily specific to Honda, but I would say it's specific to this type of situation that we're doing. So when you're swapping the battery, you're disconnecting all types of different connections, and there's different types of computers that are working with those components. So that's why the disconnect the 12 volt is important, so that way it resets everything within the car. A lot of the hybrids have the similar thing, but it is something that you want to do on a Honda. On a Honda Civic, there's a couple signs that you could look for when the battery's not performing like it should. So they have warning lights too. They call it IMA. It's an orange IMA light that'll come up on the dash. When that comes on, typically there is already a problem. So at that point, you'd want to go get it scanned and get the codes read and see what the issue is once you get it diagnosed. But another sign is, the car can start driving sluggish. The Hondas on the dash have a little meter that shows when the battery's charging or when the battery's assisting. So when that stops working as much as it should, or as much as you feel the car starts driving sluggish, you notice a drop of your MPGs, when you're getting on the highway or when you're driving around town and it just doesn't have as much power or get up and go as usual, that would be a sign of possibly a dying battery, and you might want to look at getting it replaced.